So, hello and welcome back to your new session, students. So, in your previous class, we were discussing under business dynamics and entrepreneurship. In your first chapter, we discussed about what is business, what is dynamics, what is entrepreneurship. We also discussed the introduction, the concept of management, what is management, meaning of management, definition of management, and what are the characteristics of management. In today's class, we will be moving to the next topic, that is known as nature of management. Okay. Now, under your nature of management, you have 16 points. Okay, now what is the nature of management? Okay, nature of management, firstly, it is a universal phenomenon. Why is it a universal phenomenon? Because management is present everywhere. Okay, it is only a universal phenomenon because management is present everywhere wherever there is human activity. Now suppose wherever human activity is present, that place management is present. Okay. In short, it is present in all spheres of life. No doubt there might be slight variation in approach and style of management from concern to concern, but the basic aspect of carrying out management is the same everywhere. So basically, management is something that cannot be eliminated. Wherever human activity is present, there management will be present. That is why it is known as a universal phenomenon. Okay, it is not restricted to a place or any other surroundings. It is basically wherever human activity is there management will be present, and that is why it is a universal phenomenon. It is present throughout the universe. Next one, it is an organized activity. Management, the word itself states that it is managed, so it is an organized activity. Okay, organized activity or process, as management attains full meaning only when there is organized focus towards achieving common objective. So what is why is it organized activity? Is basically management. The name itself suggests that it is everything is managed, plus it is organized activity. Everything is managed in a sequence manner or in a stepwise manner. Okay, suppose after 1 you have 2, 3, 4. Okay, everything is in stepwise, so it is an organized activity. Everything is done in a very systematic procedure in order to achieve the objectives. Okay, first what do you have to do? First step, second step, third step, in order to achieve your objective. So it is a systematic procedure. That is why it is an organized activity. Next, it is a group activity. Management, now you all should know that there are some things that you cannot achieve it by yourself. So management is always a group activity. Okay, because here management, as you studied in your earlier definition, it is an art of getting things done through others, right? Management is what? It is the art of getting things done through others. That is why it is a group activity. How you assign your tasks to people, how you use those people in order to achieve your objectives, how do you coordinate with them, how do you cooperate with them, what is your environment, what are your strategies? Okay, everything you need to plan out very effectively in order to achieve your objective. That is why management is a group activity. Next, management is a systematic process. Now, management is a systematic process. Now, why is it a systematic process? Is basically when you want to achieve a particular objective, you need to move in a stepwise manner. And also, the term management states that everything is managed and everything is in a sequence manner, in a systematic manner. Now, why is it a systematic process? Is basically you follow a proper step. That is formulation. That is you follow planning, organizing, directing, controlling. Yeah, you follow all of these particular steps in order to achieve the objectives or goals of a particular organization. Next, it is a social process. Why is it a social process? Is because, as we all studied here, it is an organized activity. When it is organized, it will include a number of people together, because you're getting the work done through others, right? So in this, it is a social process also. Now, in your social process, you will have to take into consideration different people. You will have suppose you have 5 employees in a team. Okay, now these 5 employees will also come from different cultural and different cultural backgrounds. So you need to take into consideration their culture, their religion, all of their values. Everything should be taken into consideration before you assign their task to them, before you employ them in your organization. All of them have to be given utmost importance. Okay, everyone should be treated equally. You must also take into consideration their societal needs, whatever their values are, ethics are. All of these you should take into consideration, and you should direct their goal towards the common goal of the organization as well. Now let's move on to the next point. Your next point is about getting things done through people. Management, the term itself, the management, the definition itself stated that it is a process of getting things done through others. Now, how do you get this done? In a systematic manner. Next, management is an integrated process. Now, why is it an integrated process? Because you are unifying everything. There is a proper unity. Okay, everyone are assigned tasks individually in a proper manner. No, there is no cheating or unfair means or nothing. So that is why it is an integrated process, because you are integrating everything. Okay, basically, suppose you want to achieve one objective, but you are assigning 4 people to achieve that objective. Why are you doing this? So that different people will do different tasks, but will be able to work towards one common goal effectively. Okay, that is why management is an integrated process. Next is management is intangible. Now, why is management intangible? It is an abstract and cannot be seen. Management is intangible. Now, you know what is tangible and intangible, right? This is the common definition that you would have studied in your earlier classes. So, management is abstract and cannot be seen. Management is something that cannot be seen or felt or anything as such. Management is something that is existing. You cannot see it, but provided the way in things are done, you can feel what management is. Okay, so it can be evidenced by the quality of the organization and results, such as productivity. As I told you all, you can feel the result of management through productivity, increased morale amongst its employees. Okay, when there is proper management in an organization, every employee will work towards the achieving of the goal, will feel that everyone are treated kindly, and everything is done in a very fair manner, and also the employee's morale will increase. It will boost confidence in the employee to work even more better. Okay, next, it is goal oriented. Management is always goal oriented, because you are taking a group of people in order to perform a particular activity and also achieving objectives. Your goals could be either profit maximization, your wealth maximization. Different organizations will have different goals and objectives. Next is interdisciplinary approach. Okay, why is it interdisciplinary approach? Is basically it takes various sciences, that is, it takes psychology, sociology, engineering, economics, because you will take culture, values, norms, ethics. All of these are taken into consideration. That is why in management is an interdisciplinary approach. Next is dynamic. Dynamic, why is management dynamic? The term states that dynamic means something that is continuously changing, continuously fluctuating. Okay, now management, why is it dynamic? Is basically nothing remains constant. There are changes every other day. So management has to adapt itself to the changes in the changing environment. For example, it could be change in the technology, it could be your political changes, it could be social changes, or anything as such. The management should be flexible enough to adapt towards the changes. Next, management is about system authority. Now, why is management about system authority? So your next point is management is about system authority. Now, what is the system authority? You know, in a management, there will be one boss, right? That will be the manager. Under him, there will be a group of people. So this manager will give orders to the people who are under him, who are executed under who are there under him. He will execute his orders. Okay, now there is a process of directing. Okay, you have various tasks that need to be performed. You have you know how you need to achieve the objectives. You will have different departments in the organization, like human resource, finance, marketing, all of these departments. How the manager manages these departments, how he gives instructions to the people in the particular departments to achieve the objectives or work towards a common goal. So that is why management is a system authority. Okay, next you have, it is a good leadership. The manager should be a democratic leader. Okay, he should take into consideration everyone's views, opinions. Okay, he should treat his employees equally. There should be no unfair practices. Only then the manager will be proved to be a good leader. Okay, management, this is one of the most important characteristics or a feature or a nature of management, that is good leadership, because it shows the effectiveness. Okay, it shows the effectiveness, whether you can be able to manage, you'll be able to achieve objective. A good leader proves it all. Next, management is an economic activity. What is economic? Economic is something related to profit and wealth maximization. Okay, so it means to say that management is profit oriented and hence involves several inputs such as man, money, and material, which is itself do not ensure growth and require proper catalyst to channel them from together in order to maximize results. Okay, basically it is all about how do you maximize profits and how do you maximize your wealth. It also involves a group of people, employee, labor, human resource, all of these. Okay, that is why it is an economic activity. One of the factors are the next nature is it is one of the factors of production. Now, one is one of the factors of production because you will in your production, as you all know, you will have land, labor, capital, okay, capital, economies of resources, factors of production, because all of these are used in order to achieve a particular goal or produce a product or a service or anything as such, right? That is why it is one of the factors of production. Now, next, management is a profession because every organization will have one person known as the manager and we'll have subordinates and everything as such, right? So that is why management is a profession. A profession may be defined as an organized body of knowledge, skills, techniques consciously and where the entry is restricted and regulated by an external apex agency with ethical codes or standards and underlying spirit of service to society. So basically, manager, when appointed as a manager, he will have certain ethics, rules, responsibilities, and he will have to follow certain terms and conditions in order to be an effective manager. Okay, so now let's move on to your next topic, that is known as objectives of management. Under your objectives of management, you have 4 objectives. That is the main objectives: obtaining maximum output with minimum input. Now, what is this maximum output with minimum input? It is basically concerned with achieving objectives, right? Every organization will have one objective. It could be anything based on what the organization is dealing with. So, you're using all your human resources, your activity, you're using your employees in order to achieve those particular objectives. So, you are making sure whatever resources you are using, there is minimum wastage, okay, minimum wastage, minimum cost involved, okay, in order to maximize your profit. That is why it says minimum input and maximum output. Okay, with at least even if you have 2 employees, you should get the work done in such a manner that you should be able to achieve the objectives and also you should be able to maximize your profit and maximize your output. Next, it is maximize employers and employees prosperity. Now, it is not only focusing on employer, it is also focusing on employee. That means human resource is an important asset of the organization and everyone should take sincere efforts in the organization, that is the manager as well as the people who are under the manager, to work towards achieving the common objective, common goal in order to by fair practices in order to maximize profits. Okay, it should basically be all, and employees and employer will be basically giving employees various benefits and various incentives, bonuses, all of these in order to boost the confidence and morale of the employee, so that the employee feels that the working environment is good and also works even more effectively towards achieving the objectives of the organization and stays loyal to that particular organization. Okay, next, improving efficiency. Improving efficiency is basically management should not only make best possible utilization of available factors of production, but should try to develop and improve the efficiency of factors of production. That is, here it is increased productivity of resources will result in excellent performance. Okay, improved efficiency. Now, once you get proper rewards, incentives, recognitions, everything, it boosts the morale, right? So when it boosts the morale, it increases productivity and therefore it increases efficiency. The employees will be able to work effectively and efficiently in order to achieve the objectives and profits of the particular organization. Next, you have social justice and human betterment. Social justice and human betterment is basically a particular management will only be successful only when you are taking into consideration each and every employee, treating them very fairly, improving the standard of working, okay, providing good environment conditions of working, and every employee should be treated equally, and also no unfair practices should be performed. Only then there will be social justice and human betterment. So these are the objectives of management. First one is obtaining, okay, maximum output with minimum input, maximize employer and employees prosperity, improving efficiency, social justice and human betterment. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is scope of management. Scope of management. See, management is something which is we already studied in nature that it is a universal phenomenon. Now management is different in different aspects. It is throughout the entire world. So it is very difficult to understand what is the actual scope of management. So to begin with, you have your first point, that is subject matter of management. Now what is the subject matter of management? See, in management, you all know you cannot just start off your activities just like that. You have various steps, right? If you want to achieve a particular objective, you cannot just directly go and achieve the objective. Instead, you will have various steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only after you going through this particular steps, you will be able to reach your final destination, that is your objective. Similarly, the subject matter of organization is, you have to first go accordingly with this particular thing, that is planning, organizing, directing, staffing, coordinating, motivating, controlling are the main functions of management. We looked into this particular points earlier also. Okay, now innovation, representation, decision making and communication are subsidiary functions. What are the main functions? Basically management has two functions. Okay, one is the main function and one is the subsidiary function. Your main function is your planning. Okay, you need to plan. Second one is you need to organize. Third one is staffing. Fourth one is directing. Fifth one is coordinating. Sixth is motivating. Seven is controlling. And the main, these are basically, there are 7 main functions of a particular, of management. Okay, 7 main functions of management, and the subsidiary functions are, you are continuously busy in innovation, representation, decision making and communication. Okay, now what happens in planning? You are planning as to how you need to achieve a particular goal. Now after you plan, you will organize. That is, you will have 4 people in a team. You will organize one task to one person. You will assign your task. Okay, that is organizing. Third one is staffing. Staffing is basically, if you have 4 people, you will allot them in different departments to take care of different departments and to achieve the objective. Okay, next one is directing. The manager will give them directions each and every time. Okay, that how they need to work, how they need to function, what are the things that they need to do in order to achieve the objective. So timely information and timely directions will be given to them. Next one is coordinating all these 4 people's activities. Okay, each one of them should coordinate with each other and should have cooperation with each other in order to achieve the objective. Next is the manager will continuously motivate the employees in order to achieve the objectives. And controlling. Okay, what is controlling means he should take proper control by fair practices. Avoiding unfair means treating everyone equally in order to achieve the objectives. These are your main functions. Now what are your subsidiary functions? Are basically, first one is innovation. In management there should be continuous innovation. Okay, different things should continuously be innovated. After you're innovating, representation, you need to represent each and every employee. Whatever work is being done, you need to represent it. Okay, next is decision making. Decision making is done by the manager, but he should take into consideration the views and opinions of the employees by treating everyone equally. And later on, communication. If a particular manager takes a particular decision, he should take it with the help of employees and communicate the same back to the employees, so that in order to avoid a confusion. After the subject matter of management, you have the second point, that is functional areas of management. In your functional areas of management, it includes, your first point is financial management. Finance, as you all know, is the lifeblood of any business activity. Without finance, it is very difficult for a particular company to survive. So finance, every organization should have enough number of profits, enough amount of money in order to carry out day-to-day operations, right? So financial management includes cash management. It includes cash management, it includes planning and forecasting, budgeting, cost control and cost reduction management. Okay, basically when you talk about finance, the first most important thing is you manage cash. How will you manage cash? Firstly, by planning. Okay, planning as to how you will manage cash, forecasting as to whether you will have profits, you'll have losses or anything as such based on your sales. Next one is by budgeting. In suppose you have profits, you will set aside a particular budget for your future references. Okay, next, cost control. How will you control your cost? How will you bring down your cost in order to increase your profits? Okay, cost control and cost reduction are one and the same. So your next point is marketing management. Now, what is marketing management? As you all know, what is marketing? As I told you all, in management you will have different divisions. Like you'll have human resource, you have finance, you have marketing departments. All of these managements. So what does it say? Functional areas of management. What are the first functional area of management? It is financial management. Okay, it is finance department. Second one is marketing management or marketing department. In this particular thing, you will have to manage all your costs relating to your branding, your packaging, your labeling, okay, whatever is in research, okay, price determination, promotion, all of the marketing activity cost will be handled in your marketing management. Now production, in your production you will have to carry out your production planning, controls, materials management, scientific purchasing, inventory control, storage and warehousing. Okay, how do you go about managing your production? How do you make it available to customer? All of these will be taken into consideration in the production department. Next is your human resource management. Now human resource management, always remember that human resource is an important asset to the organization. Okay, now basically employees are very important for a successful organization, and also a good employee, okay, employee with good skills, knowledge, everything is very important and plays as an important asset to the organization. So an organization should take utmost care of their employees and should not lose their employees. So the organization should always provide for recruitment, training and development, okay, motivation, performance appraisal, okay, giving them bonuses, settling disputes, okay, avoiding you should take into consideration their grievances in case if they are not feeling really well, their leaves, incentive, benefits, all of these should be taken into consideration. All the things that are bothering the employee should be addressed by the employer. Okay, the employee should be given utmost importance in the organization. Third one is, it is an interdisciplinary approach. We all looked at what is the interdisciplinary approach, because when you talk about management is a factor which is a universal phenomenon. Okay, it is including sociology, psychology, engineering, okay, economics. It is taking all of the principles together. That is why management is an interdisciplinary approach. Lastly, it is a universal phenomenon. Now management cannot be restricted or limited to a particular thing, because we saw that wherever human activity is present, their management will be present without any doubt. So it is a universal phenomenon. So this was the scope of management. Firstly, we looked into what is the subject matter of management, functional areas, that was financial management, marketing management, production, human resource. Okay, next it is interdisciplinary approach and a universal phenomenon.